Good morning, guys. We are going to talk about how to find the area of a regular polygon. It's kind of using formulas that we've already talked about this week and kind of combining them together. You'll see what that means in a second. So just really quickly, what is a regular polygon? It's a shape that has equal side lengths and equal angle measures. So when you are finding the area of a regular polygon, what you are going to do is to decompose the shape or break the shape down into triangles. So on the next slide, that's what we're going to look at, is breaking like a pentagon and an octagon down into triangles, and then we'll get into some examples of how to actually find the area. So looking at this slide, this is just the shapes, and as far as decomposing them is what we're gonna look at. So if I am decomposing these shapes, I am drawing triangles in them. So when I do that, I'm gonna first make a middle point, and then I am connecting the middle point to the vertices. So the vertices is where two lines meet, so kind of the corners of the shapes. And this isn't going to be perfect just because I'm drawing on a computer screen and not using a ruler. But a pentagon has 5 sides, and you will notice I drew, white doesn't show up, so I'll write it in there, that I have 5 triangles. So then I'm going to do the same thing with the octagon. I'm going to draw a middle point and then connect lines to the vertices. So if I count, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 triangles. And then lastly, I have this shape that has 6 sides, and then I have 6 triangles. So you're breaking it down into triangles in order to find it. So remember yesterday, or the day before actually, we talked about how to find the area of a triangle. So it was 1/2 and then times base times height. So a parallelogram was just base times height. And then we talked about how if I break a parallelogram in half, it's 2 triangles. So that's where I get the formula for triangles. So looking at 2 examples. So this is one with an octagon. So it's going to give you the information that you need. So this side or the base of the triangles is going to be 5. So if this is 5 on one base, these are all going to be 5. And then if the spot from the middle to the top on all of them is 6.04, it's going to be 6.04 on all of them. So remember, when I'm drawing a triangle, it's the corners. That was a really bad triangle. So it's connecting the middle to the corners or the vertices. So if this shape has 8 sides, I then have 8 triangles that I'm going to have. So remember that height is not the slanted line. So this is not the height. The height is from specifically the top to the bottom. So it's always a straight line. So my formula is 1/2. My base is 5. And then my height is 6.04. And then what I'm actually going to do is multiply all of that times 8, because I have 8 triangles. So you can do that in the beginning, or you can do it at the end if you want to do the normal formula. And you are more than welcome to use a calculator on this. So looking at this first part, I know that 8 times 1/2, or 8 divided by 2, is 4. So now I have 4 times 5 times 6.04. And then 4 times 5 is 20. So now I have 20 times 6.04. So I'm going to use a calculator to solve that, and I get 120.8, and this was in feet, and its area, so it is squared. So that is how I would go about solving that. You again can do 1/2. So you can do this part first and then multiply by 8. So if you do that, 1/2 of 5 is 2.5, or 2.5. So I would do 2.5 times 6.04. And this part right here would give me 15.1, and then I could multiply that times 8, and it would also give me this answer right here. So if you want to do the formula for a triangle first, then multiply your answer by 8. In this case, that works as well. So then the next example is a pentagon. So again, I'm going to break it into triangles. If this base right here is 4, the other ones are going to be 4 as well, and the height on the rest of them is going to be 2.75. So I'm going to break it into triangles. There are 5 of them. There are 5 sides, so I'm going to have 5 triangles. So I'm going to do 5 times 1/2 times the base is 4 times the height is 2.75. Again, if you want to leave, we'll leave the 5 out on this one. So we will multiply by 5 at the end on this one, since we did it opposite on the first one. So you have 1/2 times 4. So half of 4 is going to give you 2. So I have 2 times 2.75. So when I multiply that together, I get 5.5, and then, so that's for one triangle, but I have 5 of them. So then I'm going to multiply that by 5. So 5.5 times 5 is equal to 27.5, and it's in meters and its area, so it's going to be squared. So I have 27.5 meters squared. So essentially the number of triangles that you have is going to be the number of sides of the shapes that you have. So it's really just finding the area of a triangle and then multiplying it by the number of sides. And that should help you answer number 6 on your homework. So if you guys have questions, let me know. I will be more than happy to help you. Bye, guys.